Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Anass. I'm a final year medical student studying in London, and today's video is just going to be a Q&A, just chill video, chill vibes. And I put a question sticker on my Instagram, so on my Instagram stories, and yeah, so if you're not following that, sticky one still, because you can't really interact and that man's active on the Instagram, so follow that. But yeah, so I put a question and I got loads of questions, more than I expected. In fact, I think my Insta crashed, and probably not because there's that many, like I'm just saying that to myself, but in reality I think it's my phone is mashed up. Yeah, low-key I'm trying to get to 10k, so if you don't follow the gram, then yeah, please just go, just like transportation thing. Yeah, I don't need to say anymore, but okay, so I've divided the questions into a few categories, and so it's easier to get through, so you can skip to whichever category you want to go to, and the categories are YouTube and career related stuff, medical school and study tips, motivation, routine, and time management. That's one category. And then personal questions and relationships and things like that. So let's just jump into the first question. Very first question is, why did you start YouTube? What made you go into it? I get that question all the time. Well, that is a good question. I mean, I think there's a few reasons. Yeah, one of them was just kind of like, yeah, I thought I'd try it out, see how it goes, you know, something different. But also I think I saw it as an opportunity, or I still see it as an opportunity from a number of angles. When I was applying to medicine the first time, so before I got into uni, I didn't really have that much support. I didn't really know the strategies and the techniques, so I thought maybe by making this channel I could impart some of that, right? Obviously, like when I started uni, then I met loads of people who played a key role in helping me to get into med school. I know that's a bit confusing, but watch my how I got into medical school video so you get what happened. But yeah, so I thought I'd impart some of that knowledge, but then also it was an opportunity from a business standpoint. It was an opportunity from a creative standpoint, and just a chance to get out of like my comfort zone and stuff. The other reason is that, you know, this whole channel is kind of my own entity, right? As an entity, it's kind of it's my own, right? So I have full creative freedom. I don't really need to ask anyone for permission, or anything to do. Like I put out whatever I want to put out, and yeah, you know, like even when it comes to sponsors, all the rules are mine, you know. I really like that aspect, you know, just that it's a way of just doing whatever I want, kind of thing. So I hope that shows in terms of, like, I just make videos that I enjoy making, kind of thing. The next question is, are you planning to do YouTube long term, and do you want to leave medicine and do YouTube? No, I want to be doing a variety of different things, and probably YouTube and social media is one aspect of it, but then medicine's always going to be there, or surgery, or whatever I decide to do, whatever I get into. And then maybe other stuff, who knows, I might start a podcast, I might start a clothing brand. Yeah, JD Sports, move out of the way, man's taking over. Yeah, yeah, so clothing brand, who knows. No, actually JD Sports, that's dead. Like something more, something with a bit more class. I think I would start something more aesthetic. Yeah, so like an aesthetics brand. Maybe I'll start something like that. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? What's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? Like, I got loads of these. Yeah, so as I said, ideally I want to be doing a number of different things, but the other one is to become financially independent. And what I mean by that is, you know, I want to get to a stage where I'm not relying on medicine for my income. I'm just doing it because, you know, I enjoy it, kind of thing. So diversify my financial streams, if that makes sense. What specialty do you want to go into? So that goes into it as well. So I'm thinking either GP, surgery. I did say trauma orthopedics a while back, but as a career, it's just too intense. You sacrifice too much, I think. And obviously I won't be able to do this stuff if I go into it. So we're thinking GP or opthal, leaning to opthal, so eye surgery. What did your parents or family think of you doing YouTube? Well, it was all kind of positive, man. Like I'm lucky to have a family and parents who support like pretty much everything I do, and especially with this channel as well. Yeah, they like They watch my videos all the time. They look at the growth and stuff more than I do. So yeah, just support from my parents and siblings. So let's move on to the next category, which is medical school and study tips and that kind of thing. So how to get through T year, or how to survive T year. So there was a few of these. So T year, if you don't know, is third year of medical school at St. George's, but these tips will apply to any third year medical student in the world. So this year is really where you transition into from being very clinically incompetent to becoming more competent, right? You've probably just been revising from lectures up until this point, just memorizing stuff. Now the study technique has to change slightly, because now whatever you've learned needs to apply in the real world and apply to real patients, and therefore the way you study also changes accordingly. And how does that change? So the first thing is start multiple choice questions early. So whether it's past med or books like Get Ahead, that needs to happen really early, just because like when you're learning bullet points or you're learning PowerPoints or you're learning whatever your consultant has told you, that on its own is not sufficient to be able to apply it to clinical scenarios in the exam. So you need to get exposed to that really quickly, get used to the way of thinking and being able to think very quickly from reading the case and then putting the actual right answer. So start questions early. And then when it comes to the other aspect, which is OSCEs, I would say start that early as well. But the key thing here is to revise with a variety of different people, because different people will have different perspectives, and especially your core group should be people you trust. And these should be people who you know will give you the feedback the way it is. So they're not going to hold back and just like sugarcoat and in order not to upset you, because that's just not helpful to you. But also they're not going to be like excessively mean and try and shut you down. So there are people who just like, they'll just tell you it's crap or your comm skills are crap when they're not, right? But then you need someone to tell you like the reality, because without feedback you don't grow. So revise or do OSCEs with loads of different people, but your core group should be people you really trust. So best way to increase chances for post-grad medicine or graduate entry medicine to get into it. It's like getting into medicine is really just like a simple step-by-step process where you need to jump through hoops, some that have like a radius that's a bit tight, you know, the hoop is a bit tight, and some it's a bit bigger. Just hit the entry requirement points and that's about enough. And what I mean by that is, so work experience, you don't need to have a huge amount. 1 week GP, 1 week hospital, 1 week like long-term volunteering in a care home, that's enough. You need to hit the minimum entry requirements in terms of grades, so at least a 2-1, and that's enough. You don't even need a first, to be honest. And then as long as you just meet the GAMSA or the UK cut-off, then that's fine. So that's another hoop. And then after that, then it's about the interview. So you need to just smash the interview and then you get through. So those are all multiple hoops that you just kind of need to jump through each time. There isn't anything that's gonna make you seem like, oh wow, look at this guy's amazing or this girl is amazing and they're gonna get through. There's nothing like that. Just hit the points, that's it. Do you need a stethoscope in first year? No, you don't. Like, bro, what are you gonna use a stethoscope for in first year? Yeah, honestly, you don't really need one unless you just wanna kind of put it on your social media, put the stethoscope on Instagram picture. Yeah, unless you want to do that, then you don't really need a stethoscope, trust me. But you can buy it anyway. I mean, you're gonna need it eventually. So, is it worth doing research in the summer while you're in medical school? It depends what kind of research. So, I would say you need to allocate your time wisely. Don't do things that you don't need to do. Like, I don't think you need any lab research type of work. I don't think that's necessary for most specialties. So have an idea of what kind of specialty you want to go into, read a bit about it, and then do things that's going to help you get into that, because otherwise you're just wasting time. So now moving on to the next category, which is motivation, routine, and time management. So first one is, what motivates you? It's a good question. I think I've thought about this for a while. What is it that motivates me? And I think I've come to the conclusion that the main motivator for me is growth. there isn't anything specific. It's not like a passion for anything specifically. You know how some people say, I'm really passionate about medicine, I'm really passionate about filmmaking, I'm really passionate about basketball. I'm not really like that. I'm more passionate about growth within whatever thing I'm in at that moment. So when I was doing biomed, I wasn't really passionate about biomed. I don't think I was even that passionate about medicine, like not that passionate. I would say that I was more passionate about the prospect of growing into it. You know, in order for me to go from biomed into med, it would take a certain amount of growth. And that is what drives me, being able to see that growth. And then when I got into medicine, it was the same thing. And now with this channel, it's the same thing. You know, the prospect of growth is what drives me in whatever thing I'm involved in. So that's kind of the motivating factor. What would you say to someone who isn't where they want to be in life academically or in life in general? That is some deep question, legit. That's a bit mad. I think it depends on what kind of person you are. If you're someone who just likes kind of just to sit put and just follow a specific routine and be doing the same thing every day, you might become quite happy with where you are. But if you are more kind of forward thinking, then I'm not sure whether you'll necessarily be fully happy with the position you're in at any point. So with myself, for example, I'm grateful and I'm content with where I am, but I'm not necessarily 100% happy. There are always areas to grow into. There are always areas to improve in. And I think that's okay, as long as you have a plan of how you're gonna rectify or how you're gonna try and improve those areas that you wanna improve, then I mean, that's okay. The key things are, you know, identify areas of your life that you want to improve and then come up with a plan of how to improve those aspects. What morning routine or daily ritual or routine or whatever do you have? I don't have a morning routine as such. I would say there's one thing that I pretty much do every day, and this, honestly, no one told me to do this. It's just, I used to do this when I was young, even when I was like 13, 14, 15, actually even younger, like when I was like 10. So before I go to sleep at night, usually I just visualize the thing that I'm going to be doing tomorrow or the main goals that I have. So for example, like when I used to play a lot of football, and I used to play in a football team, and I would have a match the following day, I would literally like spend 45 minutes, an hour before going to sleep watching the game that I'm going to be playing and like doing the things that I'm going to be doing. How am I going to cut in from the corner inwards? What happens if someone tries to tackle? Which way am I going to move? So that's something I used to do when I was like 10, 11. And then when I was like 14, I used to visualize myself being in medical school and visualize like what it's going to be like, visualize the interview process, answering the interview questions. I used to do all of that. And then even now, like pretty much every night, and it just happens, I don't even try to do it, I just kind of visualize the things that I want to happen and how I'm gonna do it. So either I visualize the goal or I visualize the process. So that's something I usually do like every night without fail. Now, next category, personal questions and relationships and stuff like that. How old are you? Well, I'm 24. How tall are you? Depends. Are we thinking in feet and inches or in centimeters? But 6'3" and 192 centimeters, I think. The next one is, would you come to visit Russia? Yeah, I'd love to visit Russia, man. Or visit anywhere. Hit me up in that. Who knows? I might visit there. And the next question is, are you single? Are you in a relationship? Do you have a girlfriend? Whatever. A couple of those questions came through, and it's better just to address it one time. I'm riding solo, baby, and we're gonna keep it like that. And that's just how it is, you know. Obviously, probably until the marriage thing happens, but that's just, we're gonna keep it like that for the foreseeable future. I don't know what else to say, you know. No slide into the DMs and that. I don't entertain that. The solo life is good. I could just focus on all of this. I mean, I know you can't see whatever is happening in the background, but yeah. So moving on to the next question. What other one? Would you move abroad, or would you move back to Sweden, or are you just gonna stay in London? There's a few variations of that question as well. And you know, the thing is, right, when you're a person who's like moved countries, it's almost like, so now it's gonna get a bit deep, but it's almost like you feel like you'd be comfortable anywhere. I feel comfortable here now. I think if I moved to Sweden, it would be calm, or if I moved to the Middle East or Africa or whatever. Being someone who's moved a country, I think it makes you more flexible. So I don't know where I'm gonna be living. I'm probably gonna live wherever is the most convenient, career-wise, business-wise, YouTube-wise, wherever I need to live, I'm gonna live, basically. At the moment, it seems like it's gonna be here because that's just the easiest, but yeah. I think that's all the questions, man. If you like the video, then like the video, comment, like, subscribe.